So this morning, I read about a commencement speech at an Ohio high school, River Valley High School in Marion County, Ohio. The commencement speech. And the commencement speech was given by a person named Jim McGuire, who is actually an alumnus of River Valley High School. Well, public outrage has developed now around what this fascist Christian had to say. During the commencement address, where in front of him were high school students, I just went through this with my daughter Molly. All the high school students are sitting there in their caps and gowns. Parents are scattered around, in our case, throughout the stadium. And this asshole uses a commencement speech to condemn homosexual relationships. Yeah, you heard me right. I mean, fascist Christians don't care who they hurt, who they embarrass. They don't care who they torture. They don't care who dies because of what they say, and somebody else gets outraged and picks up a gun and says, yeah, you know, Mr. McGuire's right. I'm going to go kill a couple of queers. They don't care. That's the thing about fascist Christians. Now, granted, followers of the rabbi from Nazareth, Jesus, they do care, and they would never say this kind of shit. But I digress. So old Jim McGuire, this Christian bastard, encouraged the graduates of River Valley High School to pursue, quote, biblical principles of only romantic relationships between a man and a woman. That's right. He, according to the Marion Star newspaper, he opened his speech by encouraging the graduates of the school, it's a public school, to spend more time, quote, learning God's word, end quote. God never said a fucking word, you idiot. He is a construct by people like you. But never mind. Learning God's word. That's what he wanted the graduates to do. And then he made the following comment about relationships. Quote, choose a spouse, I suggest. I also strongly suggest to make sure to choose biblical principles, you know, a male with a female and female with a male. End quote. Well, the school district has a full transcript of the speech, along with an official statement that the school administration originally sent out as an email form to graduating seniors and their parents on Saturday, the day after this asshole used this captive audience to beat them with his Christian fascist horseshit. What a guy, huh? Well, at this point, no, I didn't spit out any of my River Moon coffee. I just read this and felt just wave of, do you get this? A wave goes over you, an emotional wave of both rage and sadness. I mean, that's a real difficult, it's really difficult to deal with those two conflicting emotions. Sadness is usually, quiet and deep. Rage for me is incredibly excited and on the surface. So there I was. But anyway, according to the statement from the school district where this asshole spoke, in their statement, the district clarified that the fascist Christian bastard was speaking on his own accord and not on behalf of the district. The statement from the district also said that the speech was not pre-approved by the school administration. I bet that's the last time the school administration lets one of these assholes on stage without pre-approving, right? The statement said this, quote, he was not speaking as an official representative of River Valley local schools, end quote. And the district's board administrative team will be reviewing our processes for future ceremonies. Above all else, we want to ensure students, families, and guests to receive a high-quality program focusing on the accomplishments of our graduating class, end quote. Well, sure. Isn't that what a commencement speech is all about? Every commencement speech I've been to, college or high school, and I've been to a number of them, is about that. Sometimes the speeches are very up-tempo. Sometimes they're a little bit less than up-tempo. But it's always about the students and about living a life. Now, this asshole, this Christian fascist who said what he said would probably say, well, Malloy, that's what I was trying to tell them, how to live a life, a good, decent Christian life. Queers are not welcome in heaven, you know. They all go straight to hell. So, across social media around Marion and other places, Marion County, the community there has been responding to the speech primarily with public outcry. And this is, Ohio. Wouldn't expect it there, would you? It's a very ass-backward state. Trust me, I grew up there. But here's a person named Alexis. She is a River Valley graduate from 4 years ago. And she was at the ceremony, the graduation ceremony, to support her younger sister, who was graduating. And Alexis said this, quote, when he made the comment that marriage should be between only a man and a woman, my jaw dropped to the floor, and honestly, I thought I was hearing it wrong. I had to look around to see if other people were having the same reaction that I was, and they were. I felt like crying when I heard some people in the crowd clapping, but I was absolutely outraged, and so were my parents and my brother, end quote. She has been speaking out about the disrespect she saw in this asshole's speech. And last Saturday, she made a Facebook post addressing all the graduates in front of whom this jerk fuck made his ugly comments. And in the Facebook post, Alexis was expressing her sadness for the way the special moment, you graduate from high school, was overshadowed by this fascist Christian nutfuck standing up there making his belligerent, nasty statement. And Alexis, in her Facebook post, is asking the school district to respond to the whole incident. And other outrage members, according to the Marion newspaper, other outrage members of the community have also posted about their intention to attend the next school board meeting, which is Monday coming, and speak out about what happened. Oh, and the jerk fuck, the fascist Christian, well, there were multiple attempts by the Marion Star to get a comment from him, and he refused to respond. Because like most fascist Christians, he is consumed with self-hatred, self-loathing. And since that is the case, he can't help but loathe and hate people outside of his skin. What a shame. Christianity has the Abrahamic religions have just turned people into the kind of folks I don't want to be around. Now, again, let me be clear. Somebody wants to be a Christian who follows the dictates and the philosophies of the rabbi from Nazareth. Hey, I find a lot good in what the rabbi said, and I support you to have your own private religious beliefs. I mean, why not? I have mine. My private religious beliefs are there are no religious beliefs, but that's just mine. And a Jew who wants to follow the dictates from all those thousands of years ago laid out by Abraham and Sarah. Well, I guess Sarah didn't talk, but wants to follow the dictates of the Jewish faith. Hey, have at it. I like your religion. I like what it does. I can't think of a time when the Jews would go around burning people at the stake. I can't think of a time when the Jews would go around invading other people's countries and bringing disease and sickness. And God damn it, I just can't think of a time when the Jews went out and found people who were not Jewish and said, become Jewish or I'll fucking kill you. I haven't found that in my study of history. No, I'm not a historical scholar, nor am I a biblical scholar, but I just haven't found that about the Jews. But I have found that about the Christians and, yes, the Muslims. So, whatever. What I was trying to say is a Jew, a Christian, a Muslim who is worshipful, believes what their avatars and messiahs and wannabe messiahs and angels and have said and so on and so forth, their prophets. Okay, fine. It's none of my business. Just like what a woman does with her internal organs is none of my business. Just like if a woman wants to terminate a pregnancy, it's none of my fucking business. And if somebody wants to worship a high chair, go ahead. It's none of my business. But when you bring it out at a commencement speech, or when you say to me, Malloy, you're going to burn in hell because you're not a Christian, you know what my reaction normally is? Go fuck yourself. What are you talking about? Get out of my face. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcast. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.